broadcasting before and probably after the rapture. It's the Drew Marshall Show.
There's no one else like me, and I'm sure you must agree. From Inverness to Waikiki, there's no one else like me. There's no one else like me. Up in the air, on land, or in the sea. I'm fast as wind. I'm fast as wind. I'm tough as a tree. There's no one else like me. There's no one else like me. It's been decided by the grand jury. I beat Muhammad Ali and I beat Bruce Lee. There's no one else like me. Yo, there's no one else like me. And all the world is full of jealousy. Say it. From Inverness to Waikiki, from Halifax to Moosonee, from Moscow to Schenectady, from the Rocky Mountains to the Bay of Fundy, Italy, Romany, and Dundee, from Tallahassee to Poughkeepsie, Timbuktu to Timbuktu, from the Okeechobee to Omimi, all the way from Turkey to Albuquerque, Albany, Tuscany, Chamonix, Hackney, all the way from Goose Bay to Moose Factory. No one. There's no one. Say it.
There's no one else like me.
Yo.
Yeah. Woodman of Alcatraz on the Drew Marshall Show. That was delightful. Thank you, Christopher Walken. That was brilliant stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our April Fool's Day special, and we like to have the word man in each and every time we do our April Fool's Day special. There's someone else that we like to reach out to, and that's a gentleman named Andy Kindler. I'm not sure if you've heard of him, Andy Kindler. Andy.
Who hasn't?
Who hasn't heard of you?
Come on, I'm big. I'm bigger in Canada than I am in America, which is sad.
Are you really?
No. I make everything up.
Yeah.
I go to Canada a lot.
Yeah.
And I play there.
Yeah.
I'm considered beloved.
Beloved.
I have dual street cred.
Andy Kindler is known in comedy circles as a troublemaker. Why is that, Andy? Why?
I don't know, but I love that song. I can't get that song out of my head.
There's no one else like me.
And I've often applied that to myself.
I know.
I'm a troublemaker because, here's why I'm a troublemaker. Because I believe it's okay. Like, my mother's a Quaker, and I don't think she's stupid for being a Quaker. So I tell people, my mom's not stupid. They go, she's stupid. And that's why I'm considered a troublemaker.
Wow. I would come up with a better description.
I won't call my mother stupid.
No.
Because that's the new atheism. The new atheism is not only is there no God, but you're stupid. You're stupid.
Yeah. So are you saying that a new atheist would call Joan stupid?
Hey, is my mom there?
Hello, Mrs.
What's my mom's name?
Hello, Mrs. Kindler. Larry told me.
Look, Drew, this is scary now. You know Trump has me wired, and now all my home information. This is exactly what he wants.
I know. Were you ever beat up on by your sister Janet?
What the hell is going? Is this the new "This Is Your Life"? But now it's on the radio.
It's Brian Linehan. I don't know. Did they get that in the
I don't
States?
know if they
Brian
did,
Linehan.
no.
Yeah, no.
And even my brother didn't beat me up, and I'm the youngest of 3 children. But he did because he was so much taller than me. It would have been pathetic.
Oh, it would have been. Well, here's the thing. Your brother has millions, and you have entertained tens.
My brother and I are yin yang. If yin yang means one person has money, one person doesn't.
Right. How did I not know that your brother is loaded?
My brother is loaded. I don't want to, is he really loaded? He's a worldwide vice president for mergers and acquisitions. I don't know. Do I call him 8 times a day for money? I don't know. Maybe. Hey, what is money really? What is money? I mean, is $100 million enough in the bank?
Yeah.
You tell me.
You tell me. Well, back in the day when your dad, the plumber, was born and raised with Don Rickles.
Yes, that's true. That's true. You are the worst psychic I've ever been involved with. You ever? My friend Ed Krasnick does the Kreskin thing where he goes, "Is there a Tom in the audience? Have you had cream of a tomato soup?" Everyone suffers from ptomaine poisoning.
Oh, man. Hey, is it too soon to make jokes about your dad? Because he
No,
died.
no,
He died 2 years ago, right?
Right, and I've been saying that my dad was the first person who hated Donald Trump because my dad was a plumbing and heating contractor, and Donald Trump never paid his bills, and my father actually stopped doing business with him because he wouldn't pay his bills. And then one year, as a joke, we got my dad the Art of the Deal board game as a joke for a present, and he hated it. And then we thought that he had lost it. And then the next day we go, why would he like it? He hates Donald Trump. Why would he want the board game? So I've been saying in my act that the good news is that my dad passed away 2 years ago and did not have to be here to see Trump become president.
To endure this
Yes.
scene that you live in down there. So if one day, Andy Kindler, you woke up and realized that your funny was not, would you rely on the violin or the guitar?
Oh, now here's the thing. That's the sad thing. Now the guitar I can play pretty well.
Yeah.
The violin I can't even play on a Jack Benny level because he actually the violin. You need to have intonation to have the violin be a useful foil for you. Mm-hmm. And you know what that requires? Rosin. If I said to you, "Oh, Drew, you like the violin? How much do you want to rosin your bow?"
Whoa.
And when I say rosin your bow, that's not a euphemism.
No. That's the comedian who doesn't like Donald Trump.
You have to rosin your bow. You also have to tighten the bow.
Yeah.
See, the bow has to be a certain amount of tightened so that whatever those hairs are, goat hairs or whatever the hell they are. It's a terrible instrument.
Yeah.
Terrible instrument. And Yasha Heifetz hated it.
Excuse me? What happened there? Did he?
Yasha Heifetz hated
Bless
it.
you.
Yehudi Menuhin didn't like it.
Yehudi Menuhin. I remember that name. That's hilarious.
Stradivarius said, "The violins I love, the music I hate."
There it is. There it is. Which is why probably your brother is a flute-playing sprinter.
My brother is unbelievable. My brother, when we were kids, he could run the 100-yard dash. That was back in the days before you Canadians forced us into the metrics, which we never wanted. If I have to convert the temperature, add 40, and take away 7, how is that helpful to me? Let's just make it. Did that guy write a book? Centrifuge 451.
Celsius.
Oh my
Celsius.
goodness.
I meant to say Celsius.
Oh man.
I'm so scientifically ignorant. I couldn't even come up with Celsius.
No, but listen, don't put yourself down because there.
You will. You're going to do it.
No. I'm trying to tell people that you're actually quite an intelligent person. I mean, I don't know anybody else who was able to defend their ex-girlfriend to get her unemployment compensation in a court of law.
That is unbelievable. I don't know if you're living in my head. I don't know if you've what article you're reading from, or if you're reading from inadvertent Russian. Whatever they call that.
Yeah, those things.
Did you have to get a FISA thing for this?
Espionage is maybe the word you're. Yeah.
No. What was the last thing you said though?
Sorry. Let's go back to what I was saying. You're smart, is what I was saying. You're smart.
Well, I think I'm very bright, and whenever someone says they think they're very bright, it means they think that at the base of their soul they're idiots.
I know. It's exactly. I'm sorry. It's like
comics who would tap their brain after they would do a joke to show you it was funny.
Yeah.
It's not that funny if you're tapping your head.
Well, did you develop this thing that you have? Did you develop this when you were selling door to door or Time Life books on the phone?
This is like I don't know what happened. I don't know where you got this from. I don't know if this is Oppo, as we say in the States, Oppo research. But I sold door to door for 2 years. I got one joke out of it for my stand-up act. And the joke was, I sold door to door for 2 years. I learned a very valuable lesson. People don't like to be disturbed at home.
Yes. Yeah.
And even that didn't get a laugh.
No. No, well, which is why you do the disturbing in clubs now. So that's good for you.
Well, I do very well in clubs, as far as you can tell.
Listen, can I just talk about the saturation of Trump words, Trump knowledge, Trump conversation, and please tell me that he is no longer fodder for material in your act, because you are the quickest guy to get over trends. You are a de-trender. You are a trend.
Right.
You're a trend picker-outer.
No, I'm going to let these jokes. I'm not going to do anymore. I'm no longer going to say that Trump is just like Hitler, except at least Hitler was a veteran. I'm not going to say these type of things anymore.
No, you wouldn't.
I'm not going to say Trump was like Hitler, except at least Hitler was occasionally reasonable. That's not me. That's not me. And I'm not going to talk about Donald Trump's concentration camps.
Oh, there we go.
The greatest camps.
See what you did there.
Yeah. Do you know that Mike Huckabee has been to? I'm not lying about this. Mike Huckabee has been to Auschwitz 6 times. Does that make anybody nervous?
Wow.
What is he taking notes, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh man, who's the funniest Jewish person? By the way, when I say Jew, I feel like I'm being like it's a bad thing for.
I love it. No, you can't. It's both an insult and an endearment. That's the beautiful part of it.
Yeah, because the last time you were on the show, you and Humble from Humble and Fred, Howard Glassman, you and he played How Jew Are You, and we had a rabbi as an official, and
Right.
and you lost, I think.
I know. I was very surprised. I did not think he had a lot of Jew knowledge because he's Canadian.
Yeah.
Canadians are like faux Jews,
Right.
except in Montreal.
Right.
Uh,
No.
they have the greatest bagels there. I don't know if that's where you want to go with it, but the greatest bagels I've ever had.
Wow.
I agree.
But are there any there in Montreal that have faux Jew froze?
Faux Jew froze.
Yeah.
I never had curly hair. That's the one thing from the. I don't know if that's Ashkenazic or Sephardic. Is Sephardic curly or is Ashkenazic curly? I'm an Eastern European Jew.
Right.
Which means my ancestors did a lot of running.
Oh man.
I'm writing that down now for my act.
Thank you. How are you, Andy? Can we just start again? How are you?
I think I'm doing pretty good. I'm starting to come out of a funk, and the funk was that I'm on the internet too long, and it doesn't seem. I thought putting 12, 14, 16, 18 hours a day into Twitter would pay off, but it doesn't seem.
What? Are you a troll? Do you have an underground name, a spy troll, internet troll name that you go by,
Yes,
and you go into
at Andy Kindler, unfortunately. At Andy Kindler. You know what's weird? I hate confrontation in real life, and yet I wake up every day in the morning scared to see what I've said and who's reacted to it.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
We-
I get into arguments with people because I hope no one's going to beat me up. But sometimes people say the worst thing on Twitter is when they talk about you as if you're tagged in the conversation.
Yeah.
They're talking about you like you can't, like you're not there.
Yeah.
Oh, he really doesn't know what he's talking about. At Andy Kindler.
Yeah, that would be disturbing. It would be. Also, what would be disturbing is if you were to be on the phone, in the studio here, in our radio
Right.
station, and yelling at a Muslim on the phone that we
You mean
had.
Tarak Fatwa? Fatwa? I've been thinking of that joke for the last day. Fatwa. Tariq Fatwa.
You're not a big
I
fan.
tried it on my wife, and she was happy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good.
So that was one of the most. That was one of the most. I've had 2 days like that. I was yelling on the phone last week in an interview, and that was a very disturbing interview. And you kept saying, "Are you kidding me? The ratings are through the roof."
That was one of the most memorable moments we've ever had on the show. And you know what? I think it helps that you didn't know that he was in a wheelchair. I think.
Oh no, that's not true, is it?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Tarak Fatwa?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Oh well, now you've taken the steam out of my anti.
I don't know if he's.
Why is he in a wheel? Hey, listen to me,
Yeah.
the Jew who asked the wrong questions. Why is he in a wheelchair? I don't know, Andy. I don't know, Andy. Things happen. Okay, keep going, Andy. Can you send me a virtual shovel?
Oh, you're too funny. Oh my goodness. Do you struggle with darkness, Andy? Do you get depressed? Because I hear comedians are like this.
I do get depressed, but I don't get. Here's my problem. I don't get depressed like most people get depressed. I get obsessive compulsive.
Right.
So then I just am walking around and steeped in anxiety.
Right. Do you have any OCD things that you do that
Of
you would like to
course.
share with our listening audience?
Well, when I was in my 20s, I was scared to death because this is an actual thing that this was back in the 70s before they had phones or people. But I actually, when I was driving on the road, I would have a feeling that maybe I hit something. So I would go around the block and see if I hit something. But then I figured out whatever I hit has probably crawled off to the police to report me. So going around the block didn't help.
No.
And that I thought was crazy. And I went to get help at a free clinic in 1979. And the psychologist there said she'd have to check with her supervisor. She'd never heard of it. Never heard anything like that.
Oh my goodness. Okay, speaking of never heard, I mentioned this earlier in the show. We have these carpool lanes up here, and they call them, what are they called?
HOV.
HOV.
High occupancy
High
vehicle.
occupancy vehicles.
Right.
Which is what I used to refer to my baboom as.
Oh, yeah. There it is, right there. So I called around to the police divisions, and I was asking this question. I seriously, I was on the phone for an hour with Ministry of Transportation and OPP, the Ontario Provincial Police, all these divisions, and talking to sergeants and their sergeants above them. And here was my question, Andy Kindler. I was asking, because I grew up in the funeral business, can a hearse drive in the carpool lane?
I would say absolutely. Absolutely, and at this very sad time, we certainly wouldn't want a ticket.
No, I mean, come on. And what, like, there's
during this difficult period, we would really appreciate no further stress.
Nobody had an answer for me, though. I mean, one cop said maybe you need to prop them up in the front seat, but that was it. That's all I got.
Right. Which I heard you like to do anyway.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Talk about your high school pranks. Hey, look at my Uncle Leo.
Gee
He's
whiz.
being interred on Sunday.
Hey,
But right now, look at him. He's holding a fake phone.
Did you crack any jokes at your dad's funeral?
Not at my. Well, I came up with this joke just the other day, it was based on an old joke, and it's probably not funny. But I said, at my father's funeral, I turned to my mom and I said, "Mom, I have to, but you?" Something like that. I don't know. That joke is based on. Or maybe she turned to me. Maybe she turned to me. It's funnier. I have to, but you? And you know what that joke's based on?
Yeah, not at all. No.
Okay, a guy comes home, he finds his best friend in bed with his wife, and he says, "Harry, I have to, but you?"
Oh man. Okay, let's round this discussion off with a little bit of depth. A little bit of. I've asked you this before, but I can't remember the answer. So obviously I didn't care last time we were talking. Do you think there's a God?
I do think there's a God, but I use the word to describe something that I really don't know exactly what it is. It's just a feeling I get that we're all connected in one way, and I'm not trying to prove it scientifically. So scientists, get off my ass. So I'm not saying. I believe, and it happens from LSD experiences, from playing music, from doing comedy, from being on communal type trips, to reading a thing about Burning Man. I just loving Ken Kesey. I just have this feeling that something is going on that we can't define, and that's what the word God means. Is that you really can't define it. It's that which passes understanding. I think I'm mixing up different metaphors now.
Yeah, but that's all right. It sounds wonderful.
How about you?
I'm a red letter agnostic theist.
Oh, what's red letter mean?
You know the Motel Bibles?
Oh, I got you. Okay.
When you crack them open, the words of Jesus were written in red, and so that's some good stuff, man.
Man, well, you know what I like to do? I like to white out Gideon wherever it says Gideon in the Bible. I white it out. That's my. And sometimes, when I was a kid, I told you this as a prank. Me and my tough Jewish kids, friends, we'd break into Christians' houses and we would remove the New Testament from their Bible. So there's just something. And it was just something that was fun.
That's
just the first page of Genesis.
Yeah. That's rebellious.
It's a great band, too.
That's rebellious. Hey, listen, I just shaved off my Letterman beard. Do you still hang out with Santa or no?
I miss him so much. I never got to hang out with him at his house or anything, but that doesn't matter. I got to be in his show.
Yeah.
I love him. I think about him all the time, and I still wish he hadn't gone off the air when he did. Although it's kind of cool though because Colbert's kind of coming into his own a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's.
Tim the Tool here
Yes, sir.
on the board. Tim, I want to ask you, of all the late night people, do you prefer one over the other?
Oh, I prefer some for different reasons, but if I had to choose one overall,
Can you make your answer shorter?
It would probably be Stephen Colbert. I just appreciate his intelligence and his political commentary and his use of humor to make something change.
Right. Are you allowed to officially endorse one particular late night person over another, or will that cost you gigs?
Oh, I'm allowed to do it, but about the Jimmy Fallon ride at Universal.
The Jimmy
There was
Fallon
a Jimmy
ride?
Fallon ride at Universal Studios
Right.
in Orlando, and parents love it. There's no risk taking. It's safe.
This sounds like a Leno joke, really.
And they had to close it last week because it went viral, like everything.
Oh, gee.
So I don't like Jimmy Fallon. I like Seth Meyers. I like Seth Meyers especially. I really got into Seth Meyers when he did the Correspondents' Dinner the year that Obama put down Trump.
Yeah.
So great. And then Trump decided to run for president.
Yeah.
And then so I like when he does political stuff. And I can't do the chords. I don't like the James. I don't want karaoke. I don't want karaoke at all. I don't want it in my car. I don't want it in my jar. I don't want it. Keep that for your own time, James Corden.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's just finish our time with a little bit of a rant against the new atheists. If you were to say one word of advice to the new atheists out there,
right?
What would it be, Andy Kindler?
Is it one word?
No, just a
okay.
word of wisdom.
Please leave us alone. When I was a kid, an atheist was so nice. This is from my act. I said an atheist was someone who just looked upset at a picnic. You know what I mean? Those were the days. I don't know why someone said, you know what, atheism isn't off-putting enough. Let's be in your face about it.
Yeah.
Just what if I'm not? I can guarantee you that my mother's Quakerism is a positive thing, and the fact that you don't know anything about it is the problem. So get off of everybody's back. Unless they're actually trying to take away your school books or whatever, leave them alone.
Okay.
You think that'll work?
I think that'll work. I love it. It's very kumbaya. It is.
Beautiful.
Very kumbaya. Andy, I want to thank you for bringing a little brevity to our show. Thank you very much.
Well, happy Pesach to everybody.
Thank you.
And I also hope that may your Simiat Saris be like Purim with a little Tu B'Shvat thrown in on the side.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Andy Kindler on the Drew Marshall Show. Andy Kindler.
Thanks,
See you, buddy. Take
Be
care.
good.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. A short break, and when we come back, the word man of Alcatraz.